Hey, what is up you guys? And once again, welcome back to another video. Today we got the little man in the chair and we're gonna give him something different. Normally I'll just do like a mid skin fade or a high skin fade on him just because it looks clean and it's very easy and quick to do. But today I thought I would give him a little faux hawk as requested by mom. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it by creating our first guideline using the Andy Slimline Pros. And as you can see, I kind of came in at like an angle and making like a C shape almost on the side of his head for this first guideline. And now on the opposite end, I'm going to do the exact same thing, doing my best to try and make it look even and similar to the other side. I don't do this haircut often. I've actually only done it maybe like 2 or 3 times, but now that I'm looking at it, I wish I would have came in more with this first guideline, more in the shape of like a C, not so much far down as I did like a straight line, but it's cool. We'll make it work. I wanted to give him a little skin, so I used my Bronze Series 9 to clean up all that hair from the first guideline. And now with the lever about halfway closed, I'm going to create my second guideline. I'm not going to be going down too far as I'm going to kind of make the back end pointy. So I'm just going to like maybe halfway from the side of his head and not really focusing on the back too much yet. Once I was done creating that second guideline with the lever about halfway closed, I went ahead and closed it fully and I'm just going to start blending it out. That secondary guideline was still somewhat there, so I just grabbed my wall trimmers and used the corner of the blade to just kind of clean up underneath. So with the one guard attached, the lever halfway closed, we're going to create our next guideline using the corner of the blade, remembering not to go too high as we're kind of creating somewhat of a drop fade in the sense. Now with the 1.5 guard attached and the lever all the way open, I'm just going to start blending in to the darker area of this cut now, just to kind of get it blended out and lighten just a little bit. Remember, I'm not going high at all. I'm just keeping it as low as possible, flicking at these bottom lines and trying to keep the sides as dark as I can. With my half guard attached and starting with the lever all the way open, I'm just going to flick at that bottom line that was the one guard previously, and little by little as needed, I'm going to close the lever to the all the way closed position on his hair just until I'm comfortable with how much the line has been blended out. As you may have noticed throughout this cut, I've been using this soft bristled brush the entire time, constantly just brushing down his hair once I'm flicking up at it, laying it back down in its natural position, and in my opinion, it just helps to get a lot softer of a blend. So previously that was the number 2 guard that I was using to just kind of debulk the darkest part of the hair. Now the red guard, that's the 1.5 guard that I'm using to blend down from that number 2. And here we are with the half guard on the very bottom of the fade. I'm just blending in at that bottom line before switching to the opposite end and doing the exact same thing as before. When I'm using the trimmers to kind of take out one of the guidelines, I'm only using the corner of that trimmer, remembering to brush down at the same time to remove any excess hair. That way you're not accidentally creating another guideline or accidentally pushing that guideline up higher than you should be. Since the camera angle is a little better on this side at some angles, You can see when I'm working on that back piece kind of how far I'm going down on the fade itself. I will be dropping another video here soon on these clippers that you see me using throughout this cut. Once again, you guys, I like them still. They're doing good, they're solid. And in this next video, I'll just let you guys hear them better, compare them next to my Wall Magic clippers with the sound, how they look in my hand, and just give you guys a little better view of how these clippers are and how they perform. As you guys can see, the blend is starting to come together little by little. With this type of haircut, I would say that detail is the main priority in this haircut. Now, as you can see, he did have this random patch of thick hair right there on the side. So with my number 2 guard and the lever all the way open, I'm just going to flick out on this entire side, not digging in too deep, and switching out to the 1.5 guard and just going to down fade from here, you guys. Now I'm going to start spraying down his hair, just wet it a little, and I'm going to part it into sections. That way I can scoop the hair up with the comb into my fingers and just cut off the tips of the hair. I'm going to trim it down a little bit because there was a lot of length on top. To do some cleanup work, I'm going to do some clipper over comb and pretty much just start shaping the haircut into how I want the little Fohawk to look like. I do have the 1 guard attached. In my opinion, this just allows me to get a nice little blend going on without taking too much hair off. And when I'm doing something like this, I prefer to use clipper over comb instead of maybe thinning shears over comb. It's time to clean up his lineup, so I'm going to start from the middle and work my way from our right side, his left, all the way to the opposite end. Just cleaning up all these little hairs, brushing down hairs as necessary, and getting it nice and crispy. Just to keep his hair in place while I was cutting it, I wanted to use some Old Spice pomade, but you guys will see at the end of the cut what I'll be using from now on. It's finally time to get the back done. I'm going to do it nice and pointy, so I'm going to just start out at an angle and do my best to guesstimate on how it should look and how even it should be. You'll notice on this left side I'm going like way higher in terms of like the line, but it's because on his right side I actually blended it out a lot more. So here in a bit you'll see me on his left side blending in the spot that I need to in order to kind of make it match up with the right side. With no guard on, I'm just using the corner of the blade to kind of blend out this bottom back line and the side point just to make sure it looks nice and clean. And a lot of the rest of this work that you guys will see from here is a lot of cleanup work, just a lot of touch up and details just to make sure that everything looked nice and clean before the end transition. I always say this, but I love these Andy Slimline Pros right out the box. Very smooth on kids' skin and everybody's skin. They don't cut. and that's why I like using these when it comes to lining up my boys or even cleaning up the C cups using the corner of the blade. Since his skin is so soft and sensitive still, I prefer not to use my straight razor, so you'll just see me using these little T-trimmers to clean him up on the sides and his lineup area. This is the little back part I was trying to let you guys know that I needed to go ahead and blend out. That way it matches up with the opposite end. I have my one guard on with the lever all the way closed, and I'm just going to start down fading from there. Now switching to the half guard, and here soon with no guard. Just opening and closing the lever as needed until I can get it blended equally with the opposite side. I really like and prefer these soft bristle brushes on little kids because they don't irritate the skin. They're obviously very soft and they just go over the head very smoothly. To end this haircut, I'm using my Andy Slimline Pros to give him a nice little part line. That way we can add a little bit of flavor to this haircut. This is the end of the cut, y'all. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments section what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, here's the beginning of the cut and what his hair looked like before. And y'all already know we're going to switch it to the final transition. So y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see you soon.